The night sky over Busan was clear and full of stars. Dr. Jin sat alone in the small observatory on the mountain. She had been watching the stars for 10 years, but tonight was different. Her computer showed strange signals coming from deep space. "That's odd," she whispered to herself. The pattern kept repeating every 6 minutes. Dr. Jin checked her equipment twice. Everything was working correctly. This was real. She picked up her phone and called her friend Dr. Tae. He was the best signal expert in South Korea. "Tae, I need you to look at something right away," she said. Her voice was calm but urgent. Dr. Tae arrived at the observatory 2 hours later. His eyes grew wide when he saw the signal patterns on the screen. "This isn't natural," he said, typing quickly on the keyboard. "These patterns are too perfect. Someone or something is sending this message." For 3 days, they worked without rest. They drank coffee and ate simple meals while trying to understand the message. On the 4th day, Dr. Min from Seoul University joined them. "The government wants answers," Dr. Min explained. "Similar signals have been detected by observatories in Japan and China." Dr. Jin pointed to her latest findings. "Look here. When we convert these patterns into our alphabet, they form words." The 3 scientists stared at the screen in silence. The message was short but clear. Nothing can stop what's coming. Within days, observatories around the world confirmed the same message. News channels showed worried faces of scientists and frightened citizens. World leaders called emergency meetings. Dr. Jin found something else in the signal, a set of numbers that looked like coordinates. They pointed to a location on Mars that no human mission had ever visited. At the emergency United Nations meeting, Dr. Jin showed her findings to representatives from every country. "The message came with these coordinates," she explained, pointing to the red spot on the Mars map. "I believe we need to send a mission there immediately." Some countries wanted to prepare for war. Others thought it was a hoax. But when the signal started getting stronger each day, everyone agreed action was needed. The Space Coalition formed quickly. They chose Dr. Jin to lead the science team for the mission. The fastest spacecraft ever built, the Pioneer, was prepared for launch within 1 month. Dr. Jin worked with astronauts and engineers to plan the mission. Captain Du would command the spacecraft with pilot Yun handling the controls. Security. Chief Bei trained his team for any possible danger. One evening, as Dr. Jin was preparing her equipment for the mission, Dr. Tae found something new in the signal. "Jin, come quickly," he called from the lab. "The signal changed." The message now included images, strange buildings unlike anything on Earth, and diagrams of what looked like an ancient alien base exactly where the coordinates pointed on. "Mars, they want us to find this place," Dr. Jin said. "But who are they? And why now?" The night before the launch, Dr. Jin couldn't sleep. She stood outside looking at the stars, wondering what they would find on Mars. Would it be a warning, a weapon, or knowledge that could save Earth? The launch day arrived with clear skies. Thousands watched as the Pioneer rocket lifted off from the launch pad. Dr. Jin felt the powerful vibration as the spacecraft pushed against Earth's gravity. Once in space, the crew prepared for the long journey to Mars. It would take 3 weeks, using the new fusion engines. During the journey, Dr. Jin studied the signal more carefully. Hidden deep in the code were strange DNA patterns that looked almost human, but not quite. "These might be biological instructions," she told Captain Du. "But for what purpose?" As they approached Mars, the signal grew stronger. The red planet filled their viewports as pilot Yun guided the spacecraft into orbit. The landing team prepared their equipment. Dr. Jin, Security Chief Bei, and 2 other crew members would explore the coordinates on the surface. The lander touched, down on the red dust of Mars. Through their helmet visors, they could see nothing special about this area, just rocks and dust under the pale sky. "The coordinates point 2 kilometers east," Dr. Jin said, checking her device. As they walked, Security Chief Bei noticed something strange about the ground. "Stop," he said. "The surface here is different." They brushed away the red dust to reveal a smooth, dark material that didn't look natural. When Dr. Jin touched it with her gloved hand, Lines of light appeared and spread across the surface. The ground beneath them started to move. The team stepped back as a large section of the Martian surface slid open, revealing a stairway leading down into darkness. "We found it," whispered Dr. Jin. "We found what's been calling us." The stairway led down into the darkness beneath the Martian surface. Dr. Jin turned on her helmet light and took a deep breath. "Stay close," Security Chief Bay told the team. "I'll go first." He stepped onto the first stair. Nothing happened. The team followed carefully, their footsteps echoing in the silence. The stairway seemed to go down forever. After walking for 20 minutes, they reached a large door. It was made of a dark metal no one recognized. There were no handles or buttons to open it. "What now?" asked Pilot Yun, who had joined the landing team. Dr. Jin moved closer to the door. As she approached, lines of blue light appeared on the surface, just like they had above ground. The door slid open without a sound. "It responds to our presence," she whispered. They entered a vast room filled with strange machines. The air was breathable, which surprised everyone. They removed their helmets carefully. "This place has been waiting for us," said Dr. Jin, looking around in wonder. The walls were covered with symbols that looked almost like writing. When Dr. Jin touched one of the symbols, the entire room came to life. Lights turned on everywhere. Machines hummed with power. In the center of the room, a hologram appeared. It showed a star map of the galaxy. A dark cloud was moving through the stars, swallowing everything in its path. "What is that?" asked Captain Doe, who was watching from orbit through the team's cameras. Before anyone could answer, the hologram changed. It showed Earth, beautiful and blue. Then the dark cloud approached it. The hologram Earth was covered in darkness. "I think it's a warning," said Dr. Jin. "Whatever. This dark thing it's coming to Earth." Security Chief Bay found another room connected to the first. This one contained what looked like sleeping pods, but they were all empty and covered in dust. "Someone lived here once," he said, "but they're long gone now." Pilot Yun discovered a control panel that seemed to be working. When she touched it, a voice spoke. The language was strange, but somehow they could understand parts of it. "The void comes. Earth is next. Nothing can stop what's coming." The team explored deeper into the structure. They found more rooms, more technology beyond human understanding. Everything seemed built for beings similar to humans, but not exactly the same. Dr. Jin found a device that looked like a data storage. She connected it to her tablet. Thousands of files downloaded in seconds. "These might tell us who built this place and why they left this warning," she said. As she examined the files, her face grew pale. "According to this data, this facility is over 50,000 years old. The beings who built it called themselves the Guardians." Captain Doe's voice came through their communication system. "Dr. Jin, our sensors are picking up energy building up around you. Something big is happening." The floor beneath them began to vibrate. More holograms appeared, showing scenes of planets being destroyed by the dark cloud. "The void is coming," the voice repeated. "You carry the seed, you must prepare." "What seed?" asked Security Chief Bay. "What does that mean?" Dr. Jin was reading the data on her tablet. "According to this, the Guardians were studying the void for centuries. It's some kind of cosmic entity that consumes all life and energy. They couldn't stop it, but they found a way to escape it." Pilot Yun pointed to a new hologram that had appeared. It showed beings that looked almost human leaving a planet in spaceships. "They came to Earth," Dr. Jin whispered as she read more data. "They mixed their DNA with early humans. We are their descendants. We carry their seed, genetic material they modified to resist the void." Suddenly, alarms started blaring throughout the facility. "Red lights flashed everywhere." "Warning system activated," announced the voice. "Void approach detected. Time remaining 6 Earth months." Security Chief Bay grabbed Dr. Jin's arm. "We need to go. Now." As they turned to leave, part of the ceiling collapsed. Dust filled the air. The entire structure was becoming unstable. "Run!" shouted Security Chief Bay. He pushed the others toward the exit. As they ran, more debris fell around them. Security Chief Bei was hit by a falling beam and fell to the ground. Pilot Yun tried to help him, but he waved her away. Get out. Take the data. Earth needs to know. Dr. Jin and Pilot Yun made it to the stairs with the tablet containing the Guardian data. Behind them, Security Chief Bei was trapped under the debris. Go! He shouted one last time before another collapse buried him completely. The two women ran up the stairs as the ancient facility began to seal itself. They barely made it outside before the entrance closed forever, becoming just another part of the Martian landscape. In orbit, Captain Doe was waiting anxiously. What happened down there? Where's Security Chief Bei? Dr. Jin looked at the spot where the entrance had been. He's gone, but he saved us. And he saved this data. Now we need to get back to Earth. We have 6 months to prepare for something that has destroyed countless worlds before us. The Pioneer spacecraft left Mars orbit the next day, carrying fewer crew members than when it arrived, but filled with information that would change humanity forever. The journey back to Earth was tense. Dr. Jin barely slept during the 3-week trip. She spent most of her time studying the data from the Guardian facility. The more she learned, the more worried she became. Captain Du watched her with concern. You should rest, he said one day as he found her still working in the ship's lab. How can I rest? Dr. Jin asked. In less than 6 months, something that has destroyed thousands of civilizations will reach our solar system. We need to understand what we're facing. On the main screen, she displayed images from the Guardian data. They showed planets being consumed by the dark cloud they now called the Void. It doesn't just destroy, she explained. It absorbs energy, matter, knowledge, everything. The Guardians fought it for centuries but couldn't stop it. Pilot Yun joined them in the lab. If they couldn't stop it with their advanced technology, what chance do we have? Dr. Jin pointed to a diagram showing DNA strands. This is why they came to Earth. They mixed their DNA with early humans. They were planning something, but they ran out of time. As they approached Earth, news of their discovery had already spread. World leaders argued about what to do. Some wanted to keep everything secret to prevent panic. Others insisted people had a right to know. When the Pioneer landed, Dr. Jin and the crew were taken to a secure facility. Scientists from around the world gathered to hear what they had found. Dr. Jin stood before them, tired but determined. What I'm about to tell you will change everything we know about ourselves and our place in the universe. She showed them the Guardian data. She explained how the ancient beings had visited Earth thousands of years ago, when they realized they couldn't defeat the Void. They knew they would be consumed, she said. But they had a plan for us. They changed our ancestors genetically. We are different from them in one important way. She displayed 2 DNA models side by side. The Guardian DNA is perfect, logical, advanced. Our DNA has what they called creative chaos, small imperfections that make us unpredictable. One of the scientists raised his hand. Are you saying we're some kind of experiment? No, Dr. Jin replied. We're their legacy, their hope. The Void consumes logical patterns. It can predict perfect systems, but it struggles with chaos and random variations. She showed more data, this time about the Void itself. It's not just a cloud. It's intelligent. It learns and adapts, but it has weaknesses. The room grew silent as Dr. Jin explained the most important discovery. The Guardians left us plans for a defense system. They couldn't build it in time, but they hoped we could. She displayed the schematics for a massive network of devices that would orbit Earth. This system doesn't try to destroy the Void. It tries to transform it. Is this even possible to build? Asked a skeptical engineer. We have only 6 months. It will take everything we have, Dr. Jin admitted. But we have something the Guardians didn't. Our unique DNA gives us a different way of thinking. We might see solutions they missed. As the meeting continued into the night, a scientist from another room rushed in. You need to see this, he said, turning on a large screen. The news showed footage of Jupiter. A small dark spot had appeared on its surface. As they watched, the spot grew larger. The Void has entered our solar system, Dr. Jin whispered. It's earlier than we expected. Panic spread across the room. People started shouting questions and suggestions all at once. Captain Du stood up and banged his hand on the table. "Enough," he shouted. The room fell silent. "Dr. Jin hasn't told you everything." Yet Dr. Jin nodded gratefully. "There's one more thing the Guardians left us. A message directly to humanity." She played the recording they had found deep in the Guardian data. A voice spoke clearly in a language that somehow everyone could understand. "Children of Earth, you are our final hope. We gave you the spark of our knowledge, but also the gift of your own unique nature. Where we failed with logic, you may succeed with creativity. The void fears what it cannot predict. You are our final warning to the universe. Nothing can stop what's coming, except perhaps you." The scientists looked at each other. Fear was still in their eyes, but now there was also determination. "We have work to do," Dr. Jin said simply. The news about the void spread quickly around the world. At first, many people didn't believe it. They thought it was just another scary story. But when the dark spot on Jupiter grew larger each day, even the doubters began to worry. Dr. Jin worked with scientists from every country to build the Guardian defense system. They called it Project Shield. The biggest challenge was understanding the Guardian technology. It used principles of physics that humans hadn't discovered yet. It's like trying to build a smartphone in the Middle Ages. Dr. Jin told Captain Do one evening. They were in a large research facility that had been built just for Project Shield. Countries that had been enemies for years now worked together. They shared resources, knowledge, and technology. The threat of the void was bigger than any human conflict. Space agencies launched rockets every week, carrying parts of the shield into orbit. The plan was to create a network of special satellites around Earth. Each satellite contained both Guardian technology and human innovations. Dr. Min, who had first helped decode the signal, led the team working on the power source. "The Guardians used a type of energy we've never seen before," he explained during a meeting. "We call it void energy because it's similar to what the void itself uses." Engineer Kang was in charge of building the satellites. He had to solve many problems that no one had faced before. "The materials need to withstand temperatures and pressures that would destroy normal satellites," he said. "We're inventing new alloys every day." While the scientists worked, the void continued its approach. It had now completely covered Jupiter. The giant planet's famous red spot was gone, replaced by darkness. Telescopes showed that the void was moving toward Mars. Dr. Jin received a message from the secure bunker where world leaders had gathered. They wanted updates on the progress. "We've completed 30% of the shield," she reported, "but we need more time." "Time is the one thing we don't have," replied the Secretary General. "The void will reach Earth in less than 3 months." That night, Dr. Jin couldn't sleep again. She went to the lab and studied the Guardian data one more time. There had to be something they were missing. She found a file she hadn't noticed before. It contained information about the Guardians' final days. They had built a small version of the shield system, but it had failed. The void had simply adapted and overcome it. They didn't understand the void fully, Dr. Jin realized. They thought it was just a physical phenomenon, but it's more than that. She called an emergency meeting with the SHIELD team. "We need to change our approach," she announced. "The shield isn't just a physical barrier, it's a communication system." Engineer Kang looked confused. "You want to talk to the void? It's destroying everything in its path." "Yes, but why?" Dr. Jin asked. She displayed new findings from the Guardian data. The void doesn't just consume. It's looking for something. The Guardians were too advanced, too logical. Their technology was perfect, but that's exactly what attracted the void. She pointed to human DNA on the screen. "Our creative chaos might be the key. We need to incorporate human elements into every part of the shield." The scientists worked day and night to redesign the shield. Instead of just using Guardian technology, they added human art, music, and mathematical patterns that weren't perfectly logical. As the weeks passed, the void reached Mars. The red planet disappeared from view, covered by the same darkness that had swallowed Jupiter. Earth was next. The first complete test of the shield happened when the void was just 2 weeks away. Engineer Kang activated the system from mission control. The satellites in orbit lit up, connecting to each other with beams of light. Power levels stable, reported Dr. Min. The shield is operational. On screens around the world, people watched as the shield created a glowing network around Earth. It was beautiful, a combination of advanced technology and human creativity. Now we wait, said Dr. Jin. She looked up at the night sky where the stars were starting to disappear as the void approached, and hoped that what the Guardians saw in us was right. The void arrived at Earth's orbit on a Monday morning. It looked like a vast cloud of darkness that swallowed all light. Where it passed, stars disappeared. The moon was already half covered. People around the world watched the sky with fear. Many had left the cities for underground shelters. Others stayed in their homes, hoping the shield would protect them. In the main control center, Dr. Jin and her team monitored the shield system. All satellites were working properly. The glowing network around Earth pulsed with energy. "The void will make contact in 5 minutes," announced Engineer Kang. His voice was steady, but his hands trembled slightly. Captain Du stood beside Dr. Jin. After their return from Mars, he had become the military coordinator for Project SHIELD. "All defense forces are ready," he said, "though I doubt regular weapons will do much against this thing." Dr. Jin nodded. "Our only hope is the shield, and ourselves." The room fell silent as they watched the screens. The edge of the void touched the outermost layer of the shield. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a voice filled the control room. It seemed to come from everywhere at once. "We are the void. We have consumed 1,000 worlds. Your defenses cannot stop us. Nothing can stop what's coming." The voice was cold and empty. It made people shiver just hearing it. Dr. Jin stepped forward. "We are Earth. We choose to stand." The void pressed against the shield. Dark tendrils reached out, testing the energy barrier. The shield glowed brighter in response. "Interesting," said the voice of the void. "You use Guardian technology. We have consumed the Guardians and their knowledge. Your resistance is pointless." On the screens, they could see the shield beginning to strain. Power levels were dropping in some satellites. "It's learning how to break through," said Dr. Min with alarm. "Just like it did with the Guardian system." Dr. Jin studied the data carefully. "Activate the human elements," she ordered. Engineer Kang pressed a series of commands. The shield changed. Instead of a uniform barrier, it became an ever-changing pattern. Art, music, poetry, and random mathematical sequences flowed through the system. "What is this?" asked the voice of the void. It sounded confused for the first time. "This is humanity," answered Dr. Jin. "We are not perfect. We are not logical. We are chaos and creativity." The void pushed harder against the shield. In some places, the darkness broke through, reaching toward Earth. People watched in horror as shadows appeared in the sky. "Shield failure in sectors 3 and 7, reported Engineer Kang. "The void is adapting too quickly." Dr. Jin closed her eyes. She remembered the Guardian message. "Where we failed with logic, you may succeed with creativity. Connect me to the shield," she said suddenly. Captain Do looked at her with concern. "What are you planning?" "The shield needs more human input. Direct input." She sat in a special chair they had built for the final emergency. It was connected directly to the shield's main control system. "This could kill you," warned Dr. Min. "The energy levels are too high for human contact." "We have no choice," Dr. Jin replied. "The Guardians changed our DNA for a reason. They made us different from them. Now we'll see if it was enough." She nodded to Engineer Kang, who reluctantly activated the connection. Dr. Jin's body stiffened as energy flowed through her into the shield. The shield changed again. Now it contained human emotions: hope, fear, love, courage, things the void had never encountered before. The barrier between Earth and the void became a swirling mix of technology and human spirit. What is happening? The void's voice seemed less certain. This pattern is unknown. Where the shield touched the void, the darkness began to change. Instead of being absorbed by the void, the shield was transforming it. The dark cloud started to glow with colors. You cannot consume us, Dr. Jin said, her voice echoing through the shield, because we are not afraid to change. We embrace chaos. We evolve. The transformation spread through the void like ripples in water. The darkness that had consumed planets was becoming something new, energy that flowed into the shield, making it stronger. Impossible, said the voice of the void, growing fainter. Nothing can stop what's coming. You were right, replied Dr. Jin. Nothing can stop it. But we can change it. The last of the void transformed into pure energy. The shield absorbed it all, glowing brighter than ever before. Then slowly the light faded. The stars became visible again. In the control room, Dr. Jin opened her eyes. She was tired but alive. Is it over? She asked. Captain Du helped her stand. Yes, he said. You did it. We did it. Around the world, people came out of hiding. They looked up at the sky where the void had been. Instead of darkness, there was now a faint shimmer of light protecting Earth. Dr. Jin smiled as she watched the screens showing celebrations across the planet. The Guardians were wrong, she said softly. Something could stop what was coming. Us, humanity, their children.